And then there are just the people that, they just don't know how people can sink that low. Just crushes them. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. Now, I don't know how closely everybody follows the news, but there was a certain submarine that a lot of people have been talking about lately. Though I think the discourse has overall died down mostly. Let's go over some people criticizing the eat the rich mindset of it. So apparently Kirsch was talking about Bow's, what was it, viral tweet about the sub. So let us see what happens here. Okay, Maki. That is pretty rude. You don't fucking wish that on specific people, even if you don't like them. I do like edgy humor. I just don't like when it's, directed wrongly, I guess. Oh, yeah, what happened to the sub was definitely not. Oh, you can't hear the video? Fuck. Now you can. Okay, here we go.
How it's easy to make jokes about how brain damaged these people were. It's easy to make jokes about like the situation as a whole because it's ridiculous, and it's something that like if you think about it too much, it's kind of fucking depressing. The people quote retweeting saying that like they wished I was on the submarine and whatnot, and it's like, man,
No, I can't boost it.
man, if you're against edgy humor, but then you make that joke, that kind of makes me suspicious of you, Mr. Sir. I just had to bring this up because it's just like I didn't think she was an edgy Vtuber.
Okay, yeah, so Bao engaged in a bit of edgy jokes, and then Kirst here responded. I wish I could turn up the video's volume, but I can't. I think I need like an extension or something that would increase that.
And all of the comments lead me to believe she's not an edgy VTuber. Do I think her joke is fine? Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with this joke that she made.
I mean, I laughed at that joke. But I mean, a lot of people, they just tend to get offended by jokes like just jokes revolving around death or close to death, but people make jokes about death all the time. And then there are just the people that, they just don't know how people can sink that low. Just crushes them.
I think it gets weird when she's just like, yeah.
Your trust fund was used. I spent my tier 3 sub to die in this. Your trust fund was used to become a metaphor for capitalism. Bow, no, I didn't see that part of her tweets. You don't justify their deaths because they were rich. That's dumb.
Yeah, it's because they're rich that I can make this edgy joke, and if they were of any other type of person, I wouldn't make this joke.
You can make it about anybody, just don't do it directly, I would say. Don't justify deaths. You can make fun of death. I make fun of death. More so off stream.
Because they were fucking far ass down. Me, when the Westerner tells me that they're moving to China to escape from evil oppressorino. I like it when they threaten to move to Canada. It's like, what do you think the fucking difference is?
Like, the people that joke about leaving the States to go move to Canada because they're trying to escape liberal oppression. Oh my god, I got some news for you.
You mean when the US has its rectum agape as it is now, people from those areas will simply come from the U? It's who
Yeah, Maki, can you please stop in chat with that?
The U.S. to oppress them. That's potential. That's not real communism. Oh my god. Isn't Bao rich herself?
I wonder if she even knows what communism is.
Yeah. The people with the eat the rich mentality and Bao also spending like $34,000 on an animation. I feel bad that she got like cheated out of her money, right? Like that shouldn't happen to anybody. That was fucked up that somebody, like an animation company, just kind of took off with her shit. But it's also funny that you are wealthy enough to drop like $34,000 or $36,000 on an animation for your VTubing career, and yet...
Kirsch, did you not know that that money was raised through fan donations, through a donathon? It wasn't just all her money that she was putting out herself. It was money that she got her community to raise because her community wanted to see that. But yes, she is rich, and she can still have the opinion of eat the rich. It's about what you do with that power, not just fucking the fact that they're rich. They can no longer talk about stuff. The hell? Dumb argument.
And yet you have like the socialist experience. It's like Hassan Piker, right? And him being an avowed socialist and him advocating for socialist things and then buying like a multi-million-dollar mansion. Do I think he should be able to buy that mansion? Yes. Do I think it's a problem that he has that mansion? No, it's not a problem. Do I think it's hilarious that someone with the beliefs he has would then go and buy something like that instead of living by his actual standards?
What standards? You gonna go into that at all?
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious, and that's where you criticize him.
What's funny to me is that she doesn't really think that you can have stuff that you advocate for, that advocating for socialism or communism doesn't mean giving away every single thing you have this second to try and achieve it. No, it's about attempting to push the world closer into that. It's not, you can't have it overnight. The idiots that think that are just hurting the movement.
OceanGate is now a part of the Canadian Maid program. Gonna be terrified when someone says they bought me tickets for a submersible trip to the Titanic, dude. It's the new age fucking insult. Guts from Berserk with a dog face. White woman kryptonite. Oh, I'm not really a fan of, like, dog face. Every human you've ever met who yells eat the rich has been far above your tax bracket. It's vex.
Eat the rich. No, I'm not far above tax bracket. I'm just above average.
Sing! Jesus Christ. That's a...
Look, I'm not saying we have to eat all of the rich. Just one, and they'll fall into line.
Problem, socialists shouldn't be allowed to have property. Make them live their dreams.
Yeah, this person does not understand socialism at all.
Millionaire's the problem until a socialist is a millionaire, and then it's billionaires, but socialists pushing goalposts is par for the course. Yeah, just like that e-girl that I can't remember the name of, who's only known for doing TikTok dances. Wait,
what was that headline?
Billionaires, but socialists pushing goalposts is par for the course. Yeah, just like that e-girl that I can't remember the name of, who's...
Bernie Sanders, AOC supporter roasted for $2 million apartment after tax the rich post. Let me guess. This bit of drama about this person is because she said tax the rich, and people are just essentializing that into eat the rich and all that, even though it's a ton of the bigger or wealthier people that are advocating socialism or socialist ideologies. Those people want to pay more taxes. They don't give a shit about paying the taxes, at least to my knowledge. At least in Hassan's case, I'm pretty sure he wants to pay more taxes because he can afford it. I don't know 100%. I don't recall, but I'm pretty sure he said that.
Was only known for doing TikTok dances. As she was also all on the like, yeah, eat the rich, I love socialism train, and then she made $1 million. And then she started making defensive remarks about why she can have all of these things that she derided. Hiccup. That she derided.
So, just because you believe in a system means you can't engage with the current system you live in? Wow, and people call me the idiot.
Other people for having previously. It's like, it's not a problem when I do it. Bernie Sanders, it's not the millionaires, it's
not having the money, it's how the majority of the people at the top, those 1%ers, how they got that money. Hassan is closer to me in terms of money, like wealth, than he is like fucking Jeff Bezos. We're talking about the 1%, not the top 10%.
The billionaires! The new Dr. Disrespect clip about Hassan fans from the other day is pretty funny. I haven't seen it, but I saw Asmongold saying that like Hassan made like a comment about Dr. Disrespect cheating on his wife and how he thinks that's fair game. And I'm like, yeah, if you start talking shit to someone, you shouldn't expect them to be nice to you and play fair game. It's just like,
yeah, that's actually
that
true.
Chick that never should have gotten hired by FaZe for marketing because she had no idea what she was doing. As soon as she starts getting like derided for other things, right? As soon as that FaZe guy stopped deriding her for her lack of knowledge and brought up how her like physical appearance was, I don't blame her for being like, well, weren't you the guy that almost overdosed on fucking stream? Like, you can't enter a shit flinging competition and then expect to not have it flung back at you, right? Like, it's just what's gonna happen. Unfortunately.
Yeah. What actually was Hassan's response to Disrespect's response? Because I didn't look into that. I don't pay attention to them that closely. I watched some of Hassan's video. I loosely know of Dr. Disrespect. I just know a lot of the conservative creators tend to work together a lot. It's interesting.
That's how humans are, all right, okay? And there are people that were just like, oh, that girl went too far. He only insulted.
Grace Van Dien is now facing backlash for her response to FaZe Rain, where she brings up his OD from nearly 3 years ago. Yeah, like, bringing up year-old drama does not help your case, IMO. It just makes you look worse. Not the person you're trying to call out.
Insulted her looks. She shouldn't bring up his OD. It's like, I agree with Asmon. I know Dr. Disrespect threw some slaps. He got some slaps thrown back at him, and I'm sure he's not whining about it. And if he is, that's kind of fucking weird. That's kind of fucking weird. Just like the FaZe guy whining about how she talked about his OD. There's no reason to whine. She was well within her rights to fucking slap back after he did that. Communism is the ideology of midwits who are resentful that they're not on top. Pretty much.
Yeah, that definitely explains that she has no idea what communism is. Doesn't matter that there is actually ideology behind decommodification of the material form and the democratization of everything, essentially. It's like, oh no, Karl Marx, he was just talking about random shit in the past. Doesn't have any relation to today.
Too much, dude. Why are you worry torching me, Nimothy? People having money isn't a problem. People with money buying government officials is a problem. Yes. Yes, that is a problem. That is very much a problem.
Remembers a talk with Hassan had with forgot name, and his affluent lifestyle was brought up, and said person suggested Hassan's donos be used to fund. I assume you're finishing that. Excuse me. I assume you're finishing that thought.
There's an old meme of some commie woman holding a sign that said "Eat the Rich," but the boots she was wearing were worth like $500. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. It's like
people's literacy doesn't go beyond surface level. Like, that's what I'm getting a lot from this. Hassan's donos be used to fund Hassan healthcare of Hassan's fans, and Hassan said his team behind the scenes operates like a cooperative. They're using resources collectively, so he offered co-op model as a model to fight capitalism. I actually didn't know that. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I had no idea he was funding stuff behind the scenes with that. I wouldn't be surprised that he's doing that because I mean he makes a lot of money.
I don't understand in these people's minds, right? What are you working for? If not to get rich.
Welcome to Toxic
Right.
Sluts.
Like,
So what people are working for is trying to get a more equitable distribution of the wealth because right now all the excuse me, getting something out of my throat. All the wealth is corrugated, I guess, up at the top 1% of people, essentially. And we just want to share that a bit more. Because there's enough wealth in the world, there's enough productivity in the world that, well, people don't actually have to work as much, but yet they do. And yet, things are harder and harder to pay for and all that. So, if people didn't have to worry about paying for health care or paying for food or paying for their housing or like the base necessities that people need to live, they would be a lot happier. And I'm willing to bet that people would care a lot less about taxes or having to pay taxes if they were actually seeing that the taxes were going to something that they actually regularly saw, used, and benefited from. You know, beyond like road construction, the post office. Fuck, what else is there in the States? It's not medical. Because there's a bit of medical in Canada. Not all of it. Hashtag bring back Occupy Wall Street. True. Working to build better worlds, fighting capitalism, fighting hate, for more democracy and socio-political spheres. Love and joy. Yeah! Rabu, Angel Tail. Rabu.
obviously you're going to hit a point where it's like, I don't need more money, I'm happy with where I am. I'm happy with where I am, right? Like, some people hit that point, they're like, I don't need more, I don't need to keep working my ass off.
And then some people hit that point and then just keep making money. I'm gonna be honest, I think Pokimane hit that point. And that's why she brought up her opinions on not moving over to Kick.
To get to higher and higher heights. I'm happy. There are those people. But it's like, if you're not working to make money, like, what are you doing? Like, every job is for you to make money. And I agree that a lot of things are way too expensive. When I look at the rising cost of, like, rent and food prices and shit, I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what the actual fuck? Do I know how to fix this shit? No. I'm not smart enough to know how to fix it.
But you can vote in people that are smart enough and that actually do talk about it. But a lot of the people that will complain, like how Kirche is doing here, will just kind of either not vote or they are leaning towards a political ideology that they're not comfortable talking about openly. So they just kind of skirt the waters of apoliticality.
It's just like, all I can do is really complain about it and be like, I hope something can be done by people who are hopefully smarter than me. But it's just like, I just don't understand the eat the rich mentality when it's like, you also are working to make money. Curious.
Unironically, they don't see the criticism in that comic of you want to improve things yet you live in the system. Curious. Wow.
And people, again, that's why I don't think there's an issue with people like Hassan owning overly expensive houses and buying overly expensive things. I just think it's incredibly hypocritical with what they believe in to then try and, like, weasel word their way out of why it's okay for them to do it, and they're not the rich you should be eating, right? It's like...
Do you not understand the difference between somebody like Hassan and somebody like Bill Gates. Do you not see how one of them made their money off of saying a bunch of stuff and people agreeing with it, and then people being like, hey, I like what you have to say, have some money? Or the difference between somebody that makes all their money by owning a company and doesn't actually have to do anything with the company and just gets the profits. Is that really so hard to understand? If she were really pointing out hypocrisy of the powerful, that is nice. It's possible to struggle and fight back. Yes, that is true. I would honestly like to talk with her about this if she were open to it, but who knows?
It's hypocritical and it's ironic. That's internet people for you. Decent chunk are absolute damn hypocrites. Meanwhile, I prefer the straight shooters like me and the Yabbit. I mean, I'm sure we have like hypocritical things as well, but like much like me, she probably also tries to be, for the most part, as least hypocritical as he possibly can be.
I mean, that's how people go.
Subscribe and hit that stupid bell, or Jeff Bezos will win the fight.
What? Is that like... I don't get the meaning of that bit. But yeah, there's a lot of people that just don't understand the difference between saying eat the rich and actually what the broader arguments are for anti-rich stuff. That was interesting, to say the least. I can't tell how genuine she is about stuff, or like I'm pretty sure I get the vibe that she was just kind of, venting, sorta. I can't blame her for that. That's what I do too. Though I would say I don't do it as much as... No, I definitely do it more, because that's like the majority of my content. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.